Hello, and welcome to Tierlist Tuesday. Today I'm gonna be putting out my own personal CoD Zombies map tier list. I know everyone does that at some point, and I wanted to put my own thoughts on the table. For the sake of brevity, I'm not gonna put the Chronicles versions of these maps on here, and remakes will be on here whether or not I feel it's appropriate. So without further ado, let's get into this. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Nocturne Toten, Brucht, Shinonuma, and Darice in what I'm calling foundational. Because how do you compare Noct to a Origins or a Durazdraha or an Alpha Omega, as bad of a, not to give my opinions too soon, of a map as it is, because they are so different. Those later maps couldn't exist without the foundation put down by these earlier maps, but, in terms of gameplay styles, they are so vastly different that I don't think it's fair to compare them. Hopping onto a match of Noct is such a different experience than hopping onto a match of a newer map. Same thing with Brucht and Shinonuma and Darice, which I'm going to butcher every pronunciation today, by the way. But yeah, so these maps are so necessary, and they are fun in their own right, but I would not consider them in the same vein as a lot of these other maps. Alright, and unfortunately this is... the way they have this organized here is such a cluttered mess. I'm not sure. I guess I'll just go with what they have up front. Moon. I like Moon. I hardly ever pick it out of the hat. I hardly ever think, yeah, know what, I could really go for a game of Moon right now. But it's nice to have when you want it there. Revelations. I have a very fond memory with this map of my brother and I had places to be, and we were at round 50 or so, but I had the Thunder Gun, he had the Apothecant Servant, and so we chose a stupid spot to, it was one of the turrets or one of, the generators that you use to power everything, and we just, we tried to die, and we lived for 10 rounds, so we just turned the game off eventually because we had to go. And for that memory alone, it gets A. I have issues with it, but in terms of gameplay, memories, because at the end of the day, so much of this is about the gameplay, the memories you make playing the maps, regardless of, let's say, story issues or the Easter egg being so what it is. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with Revelations. Ancient Evil. Oh, one of the best in BO4, easily. It really takes the atmosphere of zombies and pushes it, you're in Delphi and you have so much mythological stuff. It really makes the fact that I was a CoD Zombies fan and grew up as a Percy Jackson fan, it really melds those together into something that I personally really like. Oh, yeah, what a map. And really saved where I felt Black Ops 4 was going. I know people have issues with Black Ops 4, but, this isn't a video about systems. This is just about the maps. Just the maps. We're not talking about gameplay systems. Just the maps. Guard Crovy... if the hype of the trailer, getting the PPSH and Dempsey going, oorah, But I never really find myself gravitating towards Gorod over the other maps in Black Ops 3. There's just so many maps in Black Ops 3. But I don't know. It just doesn't... Maybe I think it's partially the amount of wait time. If you want to go to Pack-a-Punch, you got to sit through a 15-20 second thing. You got to do that 3 times. To get back from Pack-a-Punch, you got to you got to wait through another thing. It's just not as moment-to-moment fun. Maybe, and I haven't beaten the Easter egg yet. I've died too many times by someone pressing the wrong thing on the bomb step. But maybe if I beat that, I'll feel differently. But right now, it's just like, it's only okay. And this may be more controversial. I like Setsubo. I like it when a zombies map gives you extra things to think about. And when I play Setsubo and I'm actively playing with the plants, I'm actively engaging with those systems, I think it's a really good time. I really like the amount of extra things you can do on the map. You can just get the KT4, or you can upgrade it. You can get the free Widow's Wine. That's so cool. Also, the quotes on this map from the characters, I think those are pretty good quotes. And I like the Easter egg. I think most people don't, because they see it as just you collect a bunch of cogs for the elevator. But I don't know, I find it good for the more personal story of Takeo. So yeah, hey. I know Dead of the Night has, people nowadays seem to really like Dead of the Night. I've never gotten it. It's I want to love it so much more than I do. But it just kind of feels like there's a lot of boss spam. The Alistair's Annihilator, which is really cool, it also just, for me personally, was always tedious to get, and there's so much stuff to memorize on that map that I just kind of never did. And maybe that's, that could just be user error, but, you kind of can't help some things, and, I just didn't go through with it. Shadows is good. I like Shadows. I know nowadays people call it a masterpiece. I don't feel like that strongly on it. I think it's good. I love the atmosphere. I love the aesthetics of it. The characters are pretty cool. I'm still so upset. I would have beaten this Easter egg by now if you could do it on solo. But no. Instead, you get all the way to the end and it just prevents you from finishing it. But at a certain point, I it's really good. I do really like it, but it's just not... It's not what I always go for when I'm thinking of zombies. And weirdly enough, I think the Bloodhound, the starter pistol, is too strong. It just messes with all my muscle memory, and it annoys me. And, that may be unfair, but this is my list. Mob of the Dead. I really like Mob of the Dead. Atmosphere, story, characters, it melts so perfectly. It's held back by the fact that then they tied it into the larger story, and that just kind of ruined it a bit for me. But yeah, Mob of the Dead is so unique and so special. I like how much you can get accomplished in it by a good mix of optimization and good play. I think it's been forever, but you can get the Brutus spawn on a really early round by activating the laundry machine, and if you time that with a double points that's in one of the cages above it, you can get set up super early. And I think stuff like that, where you can really push the systems to the limit, I think that's all really cool. So for all intents and purposes, I have not played 5 in forever. So I'm gonna pop it in B. I haven't really played it since, gosh, I want to say 2018, because I lost my Black Ops 1 disc around then, so I just haven't played it. So and since it's not in Chronicles, the memory fades a bit. I remember thinking it was fine, but I definitely would want to revisit it at some point, just to play around and see. This may be controversial, but I think Tag der Toten is great. It fixes a lot of the issues I had with the original Call of the Dead. I don't particularly care for the expanded parts of the map, but I love the skybox. It looks gorgeous. It plays well because it is basically Call of the Dead. But it still has the characters. The fact that the transit crew got that chance Victus got the chance to really shine again I don't know. I think that's really cool, and I think it's well warranted. And yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's not the best last map the Aether story could have gotten, but you know, I think it does a good job of what it's doing. I liked Dire Eyes. So the fun story with Dire Eyes is when it came out, I wasn't able to buy it because I was 14 or 13 or something, and so I was wishing I could get it, and my brother had a friend who had it, and so I only ever got to play Black Ops 2 as well as Die Rise when my brother went over to his house and I decided to tag along. So like, I mean, kind of as I was talking about with Revelations, regardless of the quality of the map, just the memories of going with my brother to his friend's house to play it, and like, it was such a unique thing. It was so rare. That just made it so cool. That just made it so amazing to experience, regardless of all the things that happened. Like, I haven't played it in a very long time, but I just have such fond memories of it. Even for all the downsides it has, I just love it. And like, you can't help that. Shangri-La. I remember being fine. It's not one I go back to a whole lot. Especially, I think Chronicles neuters it by making the baby gun way less fun. So like, base version Shang I think is better than Chronicles, but I haven't played base version Shang in forever. I have a memory of my brother and I were doing the Easter egg with some randoms online, and then something bugged out, and so we could never finish it, and it was just so tragic. But yeah, I remember it being fine. So I like Kino, but it is pretty plain. You know, it's pretty straightforward. You load in and you get what you get. However, I think for me personally, like, that was the map that I was able to get other friends to play, because there were only a couple friends who would play World at War with me. You know, the 10-year-old that I was. But by the time Kino came out, you know, people were a bit older, so more people had access to the game and could play with it, could play more. I know people don't like the randomness of the perk drops, but I think it makes a really unique gameplay experience, and it's the only map in Black Ops 2 with the M27, and I really like the M27. I don't know. I just said that's just a good weapon. I like it. I'm gonna skip farm, honestly. Transit. Similarly to Die Rise, like, I could only play Transit when I was going to my brother's friend's place, so like, the memories with it are incredibly unique. And so, yeah, I don't leaving someone behind, like, you're on the bus and someone goes down and then you can't get to them, and it's 2 a.m. so you can't be loud, but everyone wants to be loud. It's great. It's great. It's so much fun. Not a well-designed map, but so much fun. Ascension. So Ascension is the only map I have gotten to round 100 on, and for that reason alone, it gets high. I didn't really play it much back in the day. In fact, around the time Black Ops 1 had come out, I did actually really prefer playing World at War. I liked the weapons better. You know, Kino was kind of an exception to that. Ascension was kind of good, but yeah, I don't know. Black Ops 1 just wasn't as special to me as World at War was, funnily enough. Alpha Omega. Something about it just always bothered me. The only part about this map I really like is the amounts of dialogue between the characters. That was so cool. But other than that, I don't know, it just never scratched any itch for me. I played it 3 times. The first as like I'm gonna look around and do stuff. The second as an Easter egg attempt, and the third time as finishing the Easter egg. And then I've just never felt the need to go back. Der Eisendrache is great. It is the best, I'll say, Origins-like map. It, like, the bows are so cool. You get the amazing story points. The dialogue's good. It just, and the aesthetics of it, super unique, super cool. It just does everything I want a zombies map to do. So yeah, it's up there. Call of the Dead was good, but it never really stood out to me back in the day. It kind of like, all of these Black Ops 1 maps just never didn't have their hooks in me. Origins is great. It is, at this point in time, it's like one of the only zombies maps when I'm getting friends together to play zombies. It's like one of the only maps people want to play. And so for that reason alone, it's up here. But, the staffs, the reintroduction of the crew, it is a good map. But for me, it's all about the fact that it's the one I can get people to play. So I thought Buried was fine. I know people really like Buried, but I don't know, it just never did anything particularly special for me. I mean, this, interestingly enough, is in the same vein as Transit and Die Rise, where, like, I just never had access to it, really. But, I don't know, by that point, we were all, whenever I went over, we were just playing Mob of the Dead. Buried came out, we just kept playing Mob of the Dead. So I never really, like, I guess it's fair to say that I never really gave it a fair shake. But, again, my list. Let's just do a little bit of cleaning. Let's get some of these to the back. All right, I know I skipped farm, but I am gonna put town with these because I'd play town with my brother and his friend as well. 9 is great. I think 9 is the perfection in Black Ops 4 of what they were going for. Like, you have such good imagery. The only having 4 perks kind of works on this map because you have the 4 towers, and like, so it visually and in terms of like map construction all works and makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, just I really like that one. All right, more spring cleaning. I never played Infinite Warfare Zombies. I just never liked Infinity Ward systems, really. Like, I don't know, something about their games always feels a little sluggish to me, which is why I'm so upset that now all games share the IW engine. It really frustrates me. I like the Final Reich. I think it's a good map. The jump scares get a little old, but overall, like the casual Easter egg and the hardcore Easter egg, oh, that's like such a cool concept. I wish they pushed it further. And I do like the elements that they play around with. I've never upgraded I've never upgraded the Wonder Weapon, but I have done the Easter egg. And so, like, yeah, I like it. I like the aesthetics of it. Similarly, as far as a survival map goes, I think Roasting House is pretty good. The fact that it has, like, you have to do something special to get the mystery box. You have to do something specific to get upgraded weapons out of the mystery box. And the fact that the Wonder Fizz equivalent, it like forces you to take the perk. Each match feels a little different, and I really appreciate that about it. The Darkest Shore is such a cool idea that needed a bit better execution. I haven't played it a whole lot, but it just never really got its hooks in me. I wanted to love it so much, but I just never really did. I have nothing really to say about the Shadowed Throne. I just haven't played it all that much in comparison to the other ones. and I know this is going to be a bit controversial, but I like the Tortured Path. I think it's not quite what you think of when you go into the zombies experience, but as long as you're open to seeing like how well can I do at this structured list of challenges, I think it's fun. It does occasionally just screw you over by giving you something you can't possibly be prepared for, but other than that, I actually really like it as an experience. And then the Frozen Dawn, it's been described as Diet Origins, but I like Origins, so it's not that far off. I think visually it's so cool. It really helps, because as you're playing through World War II zombies, like the aesthetics are so similar map to map, and I think this is when it finally pays off by taking that kind of familiar aesthetic construction and bringing it to something much more unique and cool. But I personally like maps where I can run the Easter egg, and this is an easy one to run the Easter egg on, and then it lets you continue playing, which you can't say for every map with an Easter egg. Blood of the Dead was disappointing. We all know it. Or at least you probably do. If you're watching this video, you're probably in deep enough that you know it, so I'm not gonna spend too long on that. I like Classified. I like how they're having fun with it. I like how they're trying to, they're trying to bring back the charm of the Black Ops 1 days, and like I think they really hit it as well as they could have. Yeah. When I play Black Ops 4, it is one of the ones I choose to load up. D Machine. It's fine. It's nothing special. And by this point, most of my friends really stopped getting the new game, so I did only play it alone. What I like about it is I like that high rounding in Cold War was relatively easy. And by relatively easy, I mean took way less time, because I have stuff to do. So like being able to get to high rounds is actually kind of interesting when it's so fast paced, but it's not. There's a reason why when I'm thinking of playing zombies, I think of like, oh, do I want to play like a Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 style experience, a Black Ops 4 style experience, or a modern style experience? They're not really the same thing, but that's why I like to be able to choose between them. So I actually liked Firebase. I like the I liked the mimics back then before they were so overused. But I actually liked the defense rounds as well. I think I like it when a map has a very particular gimmick that you have to engage with. And since like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, the series was really getting away from the tower defense style that it originated with. And that was a cool way to kind of bring it back. Like I found myself really missing that from the more recent titles. Outbreak is it's kind of whatever. Like it's fun to mess around with. I think if I had friends, I would like it a lot. If I had friends who played, I'd like it a lot more. But as it is, it's fine. And then I know people really like Mauer. It's okay. Like I don't know, all of these maps are just kind of in this vein, where it's like they're all fine. I think the map design is now tending towards like buying one door gets you a lot of space, and that's just personally designed that I don't like very much. And like, yeah, you have these huge areas because the player speed is so high and the zombie speed is so high, but I think it really lessens the claustrophobic feeling that I preferred out of some of those older titles. And then I skipped Vanguard. And I skipped that. Then I did play Black Ops 6. I think Terminus is great. I like the atmosphere of Terminus a lot. I am a fan of island maps because I like forcing. It gives extra reason for like why you can't leave, which exfil ruins a bit, but it really helps localize the horror. And yeah, it just like has the creepy atmosphere. Whoops. And this is when, because before the season kicked off, like you have the character quotes, and you think, oh, we're gonna get new ones. And what I've noticed always is just it takes them a while to start writing the characters well. Like they usually take like 2 maps of figuring out what they're doing with the characters before they're like, all right, this is what we got. Because like Victus only got better, the Chaos Crew only got better, Primus only got better as well, which they were already pretty good to begin with, but they only got better. And so Terminus was the promise for me that like they were gonna do more with it. Terminus on its own is up here, but like once you take into like all the line, like the dialogue reuse, it gets dropped, but it's still very good. I really liked it. Liberty Falls, just it doesn't really do it. Like it has an easy Easter egg as a tutorial map. I think it makes sense, but for me, no. And then at this point, there had been a lot of stuff that I basically stopped playing Black Ops 6 by Citadel and the Tomb, because like I just realized I felt like I was wasting my time. I had more and more stuff to do in my life, and just like I just couldn't find the time. Like I popped in and played a game or two, but I never did an Easter egg, or I never pushed for it very hard. I thought the Shattered Veil was cooler, but again, kind of same thing. I wasn't playing a whole lot. And then Reckoning was disappointing for me personally. Can we just have a map where they have towers, where it's one tower, and you work your way up in a way that makes sense? Because both Die Rise and Reckoning are like, ooh, you're in a skyscraper, but there's 2 of them, and you gotta go between them. I just want to work my way up a single skyscraper. That's something I want. It hasn't happened yet. And I want to like have to take the stairs, or like stairs and elevators, not like these weird shafts. Like I want to be in danger the entire time. I don't want to be in a cutscene to maneuver from spot to spot. I just want to feel like a real place, I guess is what I'm saying. I've given every Dead Ops a fair shot. It's just not my style of thing, so I don't really want to rank it. And I'm skipping Black Ops 7, at least until I hear whether it's good or bad, and then I will play it if I can find it on sale. And there you have it. Jeez, this took forever to do. But hey, thank you for watching and sticking around. Leave your own thoughts in the comments. These aren't truly organized within the sections, like they kind of are, but I haven't taken a lot of time to like think of where exactly they are. So if you're upset that Frozen Dawn is above Kino, I'm sorry. But yeah, there you have it. Thanks for stopping. There you have it. Thanks for stopping by.